And we get into our second interview right here on Entertainment Thursday. And we have a beauty queen with us. Her name is Beatrice Mutoni. And Beatrice is Miss Kenya, Germany. She's here to talk to us about her journey. She's a fashion enthusiast, she's a model, she's a student. So she'll be telling us all about that. Beatrice, good morning.
Good morning. How
are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm really okay. I love how you look.
Thank you so much.
the dress.
Thank you so much.
Of course, the crown. You look really nice.
Thank you. You too. Thank you.
All right, get to introduce yourself to us.
Okay, so for those who do not know me, my name is Beatrice Mutoni. I am a student. I'm based in Germany. I'm a model. Yes, that's the brief introduction about me.
Yeah.
And I'm passionate about community development and giving back to the community.
Where did your journey in fashion and modeling begin?
Basically, I could say when I was younger, I always wanted to be a model. I envisioned myself from a young age as a model. And when I went to the university in Eldoret, I really wanted to get into the world of modeling. But unfortunately, I didn't get any opportunities when I was there. I didn't get any place I could train. That was like almost 6, 7, 8 years ago. And then I kind of just forgot about that. And then after Corona, I moved to Germany. And then I kind of had forgot about that. And then around October, November, a friend of mine reaches to me and she says, you know what, I saw there is this event for Miss Kenya, Germany. They're looking for people. Maybe you can try it. And I was like, no, I'm scared. I've never been on the runway. I've never trained or anything of the sort. And they had already closed the casting and things like that. So either way, I still decided to write them and ask, do you have an open place? Can I still send my application? And they said, okay. And then I think the rest is history. I sent my profile, I did the casting, and then I did the show, and I won.
So that was the very first time you were on a runway?
That was the very first time I did anything close to modeling. Really? I always wait for photo shoots and things like that, but I was never on the limelight. I was never on any runway, on any fashion event like a model or anything. That was my first experience to modeling, and I won the crown.
Would you say for you it's something that is inborn? Because I can imagine, you know, that was your very first competition, and not just your first competition, but the very first time you were on a runway.
Yes.
And you got to win. Like, would you say it's something you feel like it was just it's inborn for
Absolutely
you?
Not.
Not?
No, I really wouldn't say that, because after I submitted my profile and we did the casting with the other girls, and I knew, you know what, I am going to be in this thing. I started a training. I have never attended any boot camp when it comes to modeling, so I used YouTube, I used TikTok, I used any social media services I could use, and I started training my catwalk, I started training my speech, I just started training myself. I put a lot of work into it, so I really cannot say it is inborn. I had to put a bit of work in it, really.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I love that. I love that you're acknowledging the work, you know, because most times people assume, you know, beauty queens and, you know, beauty pageantries, it's all about just the glam and looking fine and just shining over there, but they don't know the work that one has to put in, you know? Yes,
absolutely. I really wouldn't say, when it comes to modeling or just the beauty world, I would say there is much more than beauty, really. It's just one of the factors, but it isn't the important factor when it comes to that. For example, for the Miss Kenya Germany, we had to do projects. What are you going to do when you win this money? We had to present our projects during the runway. After during the show, you had to say exactly what you're going to do. So you had also to put time in coming up with a project that you're going to do. We had to do a talent show. We had to do public speaking. There is a lot that goes really to modeling. It's just not about the beauty. There is a lot. It's the showcasing of the culture. It's the giving back to the community. It's things to do with initiatives. Beauty is, the list of the things that comes to the model world.
Okay. How many Kenyan ladies were contesting for it?
I think we were around 10. We were around 10 on the runway.
Okay.
Yes.
What was your project?
Initially, the project that I presented is the project that I'm doing at this very specific moment. My project was based in Mwingi, where I grew up, because I grew up in a very, very small place in Mwingi, in a village. And I don't know if anybody has grown up in the village knows the struggles people go through, especially kids. For example, where I grew up, it was compulsory for kids to have like school uniform, but nobody really paid attention when it comes to shoes. And we had a lot of kids going to school without shoes, and we still do. If you've been to Kambani, you know how hot it is. It's really, really hot. And the situations of public toilets in public schools are not the best either. And then when I won, that is the project that I really wanted to do, winning or without winning. That was my project. When I was in that place as a kid, I told myself, when I'm in a place to do this for someone, this is exactly what I'm going to do. And so my project is based on supplying shoes for school-going kids in Mwingi at this specific moment, those who cannot afford the shoes and those who really need them.
Yeah.
Yes, that's
so yours
is
it's a barefoot dream.
Exactly. Mine is from barefoot dreams to acing international runways. I call it that. Yes. It's a personal story for me. It's just not any project. It's something that I relate to. It's something that I have seen. It's something I've experienced. It is something that is very personal to me.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yes.
That's really, really amazing. So is that the reason why you're in Kenya right now? You came specifically for that?
Absolutely. I would say I am mostly here for my charity projects. Last weekend, we spent Easter at Havila Children's Home. It's in Wiki, whereby we spend the day with the kids there. We ate, we danced, we had a lot of fun, and we just did a bit of donations for them. They had shared with us what they really wanted that we could help with, and we did online fundraising, and my friends and family came through, which I'm really thankful, and we made it beautiful for the kids in Wiki. And next week we'll be donating around 300 pairs of shoes to schools in Mwingi, and I'm really looking forward to. That was really like my focus for this tour back in Kenya, apart from seeing my family, of course.
That's really nice.
Yes.
So you've mentioned you will be donating in 2 schools.
Yes.
So you just pick random schools, or maybe a school that most kids don't have shoes over there, or how do you go about deciding where we're going to donate?
For a start, I would say charity begins at home. So the schools are around the area that I grew up in. We're already in contact with the head teachers of the schools. We had them pick the number of students that they thought were really needy, because we're just not giving shoes to anyone. We really need someone who really deserves it. So we had them give us a number of the kids that really need the shoes, and we're working with the schools. We are working with the schools. We have the shoes purchased at this specific moment, but we're still calling out to anyone who wants to be a part of this project, who wants to help. It could be physically, it could be providing more shoes, it could be financially in any way, it could be mentorship programs. Anybody who wants to be a part of this initiative, they are really welcome.
Yeah.
Yes.
What gives you the passion to just work with your community?
I would say, we always say a child is raised by the community. It could be a child, but the community is the one that helps in the upbringing. And I mean, like I said, when I think about my future, the far I have come, I mean, I don't think I would have done it without the community there. And just the giving back and doing it for something else, for someone else, that is what really motivates me. Yes, I just want to give a smile to a kid, to restore the dignity, to give a bit of confidence to that deserving child.
Yeah.
Yes.
You mentioned you were with some of the kids the previous weekend.
Yes.
Just how was that like for you? Just being there with the children. There's something about youngings, the kids. There's just something about them. There's this energy. I don't know if it's just me, but I feel there's some energy when you are around children that is just so, it's so undeniable. Like you just come alive.
Absolutely. Yeah. Oh, they were so amazing. They're such nice kids. It was so nice. We started around 11 in the morning. We went, and at the children's home there, they had like a yoga session. They do like, there is an organization that does yoga sessions for them, like once a month or so. So we went, and they were in the middle of the yoga, and we just joined them for the yoga session. And then we had also provided the food for that specific day. We cooked together, we ate together, we played games, we did a bit of catwalking here and there. It was really lovely. They really nice souls. People are motivated to just have a brighter future. I mean, their backgrounds are not really defining themselves, defining who they want to be. They're just young kids with dreams. It was really amazing.
Yeah. Even as you continue to carry the crown, as you do that, what exactly does it mean for you?
I would say, like, with or without the crown, my mission is very straightforward. I want to continue with my initiatives, to continue with my projects. I want at one point in future to have a foundation which focuses on children's welfare, not just the shoes, just the whole children's education welfare, and not just in Kitui or not just in Mwingi, like the whole world. That's just my dream at this specific moment. Just giving back to the society and being part of the change.
Yes. Are you looking to participate in other pageants? Do you say pageantry or pageants?
Pageants. I would say.
Are you looking to participate in any, maybe other pageants?
Absolutely. I mean, participating in this one pageant really opened very many doors for me. I've been in the African Fashion Week runway several times now. I've been also on the other runways. I've partnered up with designers, and I'm really looking forward to being on other higher international runways, really. I'm looking forward to.
All right, all the best on that. Let's take a break. We'll be back to continue the conversation in a bit. And we're back. Thank you for staying with us. In case you're just joining us, I am having a conversation with Miss Kenya, Germany. Her name is Beatrice, who has a really good initiative that she is doing in Mwingi. Is that Machakos or Kitui?
It's in Kitui.
It's Kitui,
yes,
Mwingi in Kitui. All right, so you mentioned something to do with Africa. There's this
Africa Fashion Week.
Yes, Africa Fashion Week. Thank you for just I had forgotten it.
That's fine.
So Africa Fashion Week, it happens also in Germany. So this is where different African countries get to showcase.
Absolutely. It happens yearly right now, I think, for the last 3-4 years, and it's just an event with African designers, African models, just showcasing the African world, the African culture, the African beauty to the world. It's really amazing.
Yeah, and I mean, I would love to know the experience of that, especially because you are in a foreign land, that is not Kenya.
No, it is in Kenya.
It's not Africa, you're in Germany, but you get to showcase all these cultures from all these different countries, from Africa. Just how is that experience usually, knowing that, this is not our land, but we're getting to showcase, our culture?
I think it's a very inspiring experience. I would start with that. First of all, you get to meet a lot of people from a lot of different countries, a lot of African countries, a lot of European countries. Yes, the models on the runway and the designers are Africans, but the people seated at the stages are not just Africans, and it just brings a lot of joy and a lot of pride to see people appreciating the African culture. The African culture is really vibrant, the colors, the designs, it brings this passion. When you see somebody dressed in an African outfit, you see the work they put into it, you can see the culture, you can see the love, the passion. It's really inspiring, I would say that.
While contesting for Miss Kenya Germany, were you working with a Kenyan designer?
Yes, when I was contesting for Miss Kenya Germany, I worked with actually several Kenyan designers. I worked with Masai Collection, I worked with Afro Chic, I worked with what is it called? Diaries of an African, what is her name? Diaries of an elegant lady, elegant lady, I believe so. We worked with several African, actually not just African, Kenyan designers that are based in Germany. Yes.
That must be so nice.
It is really amazing.
How is the fashion world over there compared to the fashion industry in Kenya? And maybe what would you say we can borrow from there?
at this specific moment, I can say that I can see the modeling world, the fashion world in Kenya is really booming. It's just when you look at the fashion shows, I saw the Kenyan African Fashion Week, the Kenyan Fashion Week that happened, was it in February?
Nairobi.
Yes,
Nairobi Fashion Week.
Yeah, Nairobi Fashion Week, exactly.
Yeah.
You can see the designs, the design as the model, it's just really vibrant, you know, when you look at the designs. I could say when we talk about Kenyan fashion, you see it's expressive, it's inclusive, you know. You can see different communities, different cultures in just an outfit. But I would say with European countries, no, or with just Germany, fashion, it's more structured, it's more season-based. I would say something of the sort. I believe so far as Kenya, we're doing really amazing when it comes to fashion. We just need to keep aiming higher. Yes, absolutely.
I agree with you. The Kenyan fashion industry is really, it's really coming, you know, up. You know, it's at a place where it's beautiful to see. It's at a place where we can say we are proud of it, you know.
And we're having really amazing designers. I mean, look at my outfit.
Yeah, it was done by
exactly, it was done by a designer called Kimani Cups. It's really amazing.
Yeah.
Just looking at it and looking how much effort people are putting into the outfits, into their work. It's really beautiful.
Yeah, we really have amazing designers for sure. And actually, speaking about that, immediately after this interview, we'll be having a fashion designer.
Oh, nice.
As our next interview. Yes, we have so many great talented fashion designers from the 254, the models. I mean, we have so many runway events happening in Kenya. It's beautiful. It's beautiful to witness. Now, I want you to look into your camera and speak to a young girl who's sat at home or wherever it is that they are watching the show from, and they're just looking at you and they're like, I want to be that. Like, they would want that crown. They want to become a models. Just speak to them.
For a start, I would start by saying our backgrounds don't really define who we are. We can be anyone, we can be anything we want to be. Don't let your background, don't let where you come from or where you've grown really define who you are. That's just a stepping stone to what is to come in the future. Put in the effort, believe in yourself, and go that extra mile. And anything you desire, you can have it.
Whatever it is that you put your mind to.
Absolutely, you can have it.
You can definitely have it, and you can definitely do it. Thank you so much for joining us on the show today, and kudos on the good work that you're doing. It's a really good initiative, so all the best on that.
Thank you so much, Vivian. Thank you so much for having me on the show.
All right.
I appreciate it.
Okay, this is where we end this particular interview. You can get to follow. Where do they follow you on?
You can follow me on all my social media accounts at Kanini Beatrice. Kanini and then Beatrice for B-I-T-I, B-I-T-R-I-S, Kanini Beatrice.
Okay, you can get to follow her across all social media platforms just to get to keep up with all the work that she is doing back home. That is in Kitui, Mwingi. Thank you so much for watching this interview. Don't you go too far, because Entertainment Thursday gets to continue. We have a fashion designer coming up next, and immediately after the fashion designer, we also have Rojo Moore, and we also get to enjoy some good music. So don't touch that dial and don't move.